Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps out the show a ton. And you can follow us on Instagram.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Red Gauge Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Kyle.
That's Kyle.
No, that's
I'm
Josh. Yeah.
You normally introduce me, man.
I know. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit that time. That's why I went with
throwing
the
me off. I thought you were going
hand
to say,
signal.
and Josh.
Josh. Should we do it again?
Can we do nicknames?
Sure. Welcome to the Red Gauge Podcast. I'm your host, Kilimanjaro. And with me, as always,
Josh. I want my nickname to be Josh.
it's a dumb nickname.
Yeah. You want to start out with the Monroe's random ass question?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
Or should we talk about what we're going to be talking about today? First.
I feel like we've already wasted too much time. Just being decisive would have been the right decision.
Okay. Monroe's random ass question. All right. So if
Uh-huh.
you can choose one mythical creature
Okay.
to be, for lack of a better term, like your steed, you get to ride it around.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. If it's like a horse or something, you're not going to get wet and shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't think about that. It's not cold.
I don't have to worry about the weather.
Yeah, I know how your brain thinks. You're like, oh, gotta have a animal with a cage or something.
Yeah, I need an animal with a cover.
Yeah, what would it be? What would be your mythical creature? It's
Okay.
got to be mythical. Don't give me a horse.
Can I give you 3 just because I'm thinking?
Jesus
I'm just thinking in slow
Christ.
motion. I'm thinking in slow motion.
You can
4. I have 4.
say 4, but then you got to narrow it down to 1.
Okay, so the first one that popped into my head was like a griffin. Lion, tiger, eagle,
Okay.
you know. I thought that'd be pretty cool. Second, along the same vein, minotaur, you know. No, not minotaur. What's the one? That's the wrong
A
one.
centaur?
No. Oh, geez.
Explain it.
You know in the movie Up, it was the lady that she was a lion with wings and stuff? Not in the movie Up. The movie, oh my gosh, I'm
The
murdering
Disney-
this podcast right now.
The Pixar movie
Yeah,
Up
not Up.
with
It
the
was
balloons?
the other one. Onward. It was Onward. It was the one with the brothers who went on the trip.
I have no idea.
We'll just go with the griffin. Okay, so griffin is the first one.
Where's the... You had 4.
I had 4.
You fucked 2 up. And then just
yeah.
abandoned ship.
No. I got 2 more still.
Okay, all right.
I got 2 more still.
Yeah, because a minotaur is just like a 2-legged bull, man.
Yeah.
You just be riding on his back.
Bull man.
You are almost a minotaur.
The elephants from Lord of the Rings, the super giant ones.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool because they do
Elephants.
have a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You giving them those like wire things on their tusks?
Absolutely.
Wipe people out.
I don't want to deal with traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Sure.
get stuck on I-5 in my elephant. I want to just clean some lanes.
Right?
That'd be so traumatic. Could you imagine being stuck in traffic on the freeway and all of a sudden,
That is way better than being stuck in traffic.
at least it'd be a story. You could tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe
I
you.
mean, are you crushed or did your car just get flung by an elephant?
I think you'd live.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 4?
2001 A Space Odyssey. At the end, he turns into a space baby. I'd want the space baby in his little bubble.
You're riding a space baby.
Yeah.
All right, that's what you're going with?
I think he's got to have some cool powers because he's just hanging out in space.
No, I don't think so. I've not seen the movie, but I feel like I've seen that scene. It's just, isn't it just a fetus floating in space?
Yeah. It's got to be something cool.
All right. Space baby.
Space baby.
All right.
Okay, what about you?
That is your nickname, Space Baby. That is your nickname.
Today, one of the kids gave me a quiz about what your spirit animal is, and it came up as hummingbird.
That's
like,
wrong.
I couldn't argue with it even a little bit. I was
Yeah,
like, that's
no,
100%.
That is 0%.
Nail on the head.
I think you ever watch Never Ending Story?
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm going with the old dog dragon.
Yeah, okay.
Falcor?
Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. I think that thing's pretty badass.
Okay.
Or, you know those like orange and black fuzzy caterpillars?
Yep.
Yeah, that, but the size of like a pony.
Okay. Cool.
Like, you know what I mean? Like this big.
Yeah.
Right? That.
Yeah.
Falcor, though.
I can't
Chase-
believe I forgot
Chase
the
bullies.
name of my second.
I don't even think it's real.
It definitely is.
Seahorse?
No,
Was it
anybody.
a you seem
No,
like
it's
a guy
like
that would
it's
ride
kind of like a
seahorse.
griffin. It's a lion person, but with wings, scorpion tail.
A manicore?
There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
I had it when I started. When I had my list of 4 in my head, I had all the names, and then after I said 1, I lost it.
No one's interested in this. No,
Uh-oh.
the nerds that are watching. We've lost a lot of buff people have turned this off.
It's like,
fast
oh
forward.
shoot, we didn't update our thingy.
Oh shit. It's too late now.
It's too late now.
We can do it right now. There's nothing that says you got to have your quote. First off, that's the first time most of these people have ever noticed that there's anything back there.
Yeah, it is only episode 3 apparently.
You know what I mean? It's episode 3-2.
Is that how we should title the episode? Episode 3, part 2, and then we get to keep the
quote. No, just fucking.
What's your quote for the day?
You're the quote man. I'm the random ass question guy.
Oh yeah.
You're the
Yeah.
quote guy. I mean, I saw that freaking. We could do the shirt that I saw that I really like. That was at the fights with me and some guy.
Oh yeah. What did it say?
Just, fighting solves everything.
Okay.
I realize it's not true,
Yeah.
but goddamn, it's almost true.
Yeah. It's not meant to be taken literally. It's more
Yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay, today's quote is fighting solves everything. But don't
Mhm.
actually get in actual violence with people unless it's like for a sport.
Yeah, and if you're trying to do
self-defense.
that, watch this podcast.
Yeah, defense of self or others or a sport.
Or if somebody's just real annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's times.
Yeah.
There's times.
That's why every once in a while you just bean me in the side of the head.
Oh, I remember what I was going to talk about.
Okay.
I'm a little upset that you moved back over to that side.
Because I look less small
Yeah,
again.
the illusion is.
Yeah,
the
you still
illusion is
are
gone.
like 4
I'm
inches closer
considerably
than I am.
closer, but you're now the same size as me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we start evening out here, people are going to be like, what is going on?
Uh-huh.
The guy in the green shirt's getting smaller per episode.
Sorry.
I'm going to get to like 5. I'm going to try to just get you as far back away
Uh-huh.
every episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe move the desk a little closer. Drill another hole in the table for the mic stand.
Just mics that are cameras that point right to our biceps.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of bigger biceps,
Yeah.
we're talking about goals today.
Yeah.
Personal goals,
Yeah.
business goals.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
Just goals.
Yeah. What are your personal goals?
Yeah. So, I went a lot of different ways because we
Uh-huh.
talked about that. And we talked, it's probably better to have loftier goals
Okay.
because one of the things that we're going to be trying to do is over on the Instagram, follow our progress. Right? So a loftier goal is better. It makes more content. It's more interesting when somebody's trying to go for something.
Yeah, if we set a 10-year goal, like I
Right.
want to be an astronaut.
Right. But I don't have that right now.
Right.
Dealing with knee pain.
Uh-huh.
Right? No one's interested to hear like my goal is to be able to jog without pain.
I mean, that might not be bad. Somebody
That's
might
a-
really appreciate that.
That's a real goal that I'm
Yeah.
having right now.
Yeah.
It's not working, but I just started. But really, this is the goal. In May,
Okay.
I have we'll call it a 15-year reunion with guys that I served with in Afghanistan.
Okay.
The last time these guys saw me, I was like 185 and ripped.
Shreddy.
Yeah. The first of the year, I was 245 and soft.
Shredded.
This is what I said.
Shredded.
Like, a belly shouldn't really have an under.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to.
But you were getting there?
I was there. Yeah. Like I don't really want that matrix to be on my body.
Sure.
Matrix, dimension,
Okay.
whatever. Calculus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not part of the problem.
Calculus.
It's
Quantum
fine.
physics.
Could you calculus my stomach? So that's. I want to get down to 200 pounds.
Okay.
Which I'm on my way.
Mm-hmm.
Like 226 from 245.
Yep. Today is February 7th.
Yeah. So I still got quite a few months.
Yep.
And then once I'm there, I'm really not like I'm eating well, but I'm not taking the 1 gram of protein per pound.
Right.
Like I'm really trying to focus on losing weight. I'm off creatine. So once I hit 200, then I'm going to stick with the diet. That's helping me lose some fat, but reintroduce muscle building levels of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Probably get creatine back going. and then try to hover in that 205 to 210 maybe, as I still lose a little bit, get some H&B in there, lose a little bit more fat, but I really don't want to come all the way back to this weight.
Right.
Like I would for the knee. I think it's smarter for me to be about 205.
Yeah.
But you could keep changing body composition and stay, like maybe on the cut I'm down to 195 and on bulk I'm up to 210 and
Right.
I'm just average somewhere in that 2 to 205. So really the big goal is seeing 199 pounds.
Yeah.
Like that is my goal by May.
Yeah. Yeah, I know like recomping is hard. Losing weight and gaining weight's easier. And you still look pretty decent anywhere between like 10 and 18% body fat, you know, which is like a pretty big shift in total tonnage, right? On a body our size.
Yeah.
A 6 foot plus person, right? So, yeah, I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, like I absolutely believe I definitely wouldn't say I could not lose the weight while still working out hard.
Mm-hmm.
Really pay attention to the calories, so that I'm still like right now putting on some muscle.
Right.
But working a full-time job, this is turning into a full-time job, family, getting it all going. Plus, like I know I've done this enough times.
Right.
I'd fail.
Yeah.
It's just easier for me to. I don't even look at the calories. I'm just eating clean.
Yeah.
And not that often, right?
Yeah.
And it's helping
Staying
me
a little
lose weight,
hungry.
right? Whereas if I added in the other side, I would really have to pay attention. Am I eating, because now I'm
Mm-hmm.
pushing that, that's going to be 800 calories from protein alone. So I got to really be paying attention to everything else. And I just,
Yeah. Yeah, I'd been struggling with being real enthusiastic about lifting weights for a while on account of the arm injury. So it just took a long time for it to get to the point where I could do real loads without it like feeling like it was just going to fall off, right?
Yeah.
And now that everything feels really good and I'm training really hard, I dived in on both diet and exercise at the same time. Like I'm a little heavier than I want to be. I really should be more consistent about my workouts. And in about 2 weeks, I was losing my mind because if you've ever been, like, your body remembers having muscle, like that's a thing, right? And so if you get really big and strong and then you lose it because you've had an injury or whatever, and then you start training again, it doesn't take nearly as long to get back to being really big and strong again. It's pretty short recovery, and along with it comes with some pretty intense food cravings, at least in my situation. Like I just want to eat, like savory stuff all day, every day.
Yeah.
So I kind of backed off on the being real strict about the diet just until I can get back into shape, like just until I can fill out a little bit more, get back to where like numbers are closer to the kind of numbers I was doing before.
Yeah.
I've had a real hard time. You mentioned the idea of having personal goals, and we can do videos and stuff and put it on the Instagram and share a journey. It was actually remarkably difficult for me to come up with goals because it's actually really easy for me to come up with goals. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to balloon up to 400 pounds and I'm going to bench press 650 and, like whatever, right? Like
Right.
They're always just insane though. And one of the things that I keep being surprised by in my training career, which I feel like I shouldn't, is that if you just work the process, you will get better. And so I'm kind of trying to set some goals around just following the process. Like I've got a couple blocks of training that are volume blocks. Right now, if I wrote down what I was doing and showed it to people, they'd be like, that's insane. Your incline press is going up 2 reps and 15 pounds a workout.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, but that's only because I'm getting back into it.
And
right?
also when you started, what was that, 6 months ago,
Uh-huh.
you were like, I'm going to start doing incline for weight.
Yeah.
You were like, 225's hard.
Yeah.
And then like the next time I saw you were like 315 was easy.
Yeah. So just because I'm getting back into shape, I'm like, I'm just going to stick real tight to this volume block that I'm doing. I'll take a deload, do another volume block, take a deload, and then kind of reevaluate what I want to do in terms of like, is it time to go for a strength number, or is it time to change exercises or, lose weight? So really what I'm trying to do, my goals for the next few months, which are a lot less sexy to talk about, are just to do all the work that I'm supposed to do, take the rest that I'm supposed to take. Like, I need anybody who doesn't know me to understand that taking a deload is probably the most difficult thing that I could possibly do.
Yeah.
You know, like I would rather go out untrained and try to run a marathon and die in the street than take a deload.
Yeah, I mean, I joke about that all the time with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what would be interesting is like, in whatever 6 months down the road or something, we have somebody that's a well-known or
Mhm.
popular powerlifting
Right.
strength coach. Be like, you should follow their plan,
Uh-huh.
strict follow, and see what happens. Like take you and your own knowledge of your body out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and make you follow
Yeah.
and see if it.
What
I
it would
mean,
be
it
like.
might just be like an absolute dumpster fire that doesn't work. 'Cause you
Yeah,
have
I'm
such
pretty
a
good at the
strange
training
body,
thing now. Yeah, but the other thing that comes along with that is that right now I'm working real hard on trying to recover like the way that my right hip moves.
Yep.
So I have my own little troll cave just on the other side of the camera here where I got a bunch of equipment to work out with, and I bought a bunch of stuff just around trying to get that hip and knee healthy and stuff. And like when we were talking to Gable, you get hurt and your capacity goes way down, and then you do all the rehab and your capacity comes back up, and then at some point you have to jump back into sport, like into whatever it is, right?
Right.
And so I can only do so much on my toys that I've got, and then eventually it's time to jump back into deadlift. And so I am really excited to see, those will probably be the two things is bench and deadlift that will probably at the end of this training block, there'll probably be a max for those.
So is there a number that doesn't necessarily make you get excited, but is there a number that tells you pain-free,
Uh-huh.
I'm back? Because I'd imagine there was some amount of weight that you could do
Yeah.
with some.
Yeah. So what I noticed in the training is that for absolute intensity seems to be the biggest driver of whether or not I've got pain. And so there's been a few times, like I worked up to like 500 for 15 on the deadlift, but then like 550 was painful. So, but the 550 or the 500 for 15 was no pain. And so I think the most I've done pain-free on the deadlift, like as an adult, is like 635 or something. And so, and then bench press 460. So a new PR, even by 5 pounds, at least a pain-free PR, would be pretty cool. I'd really, really like to make a new deadlift PR. So, 705 has been my deadlift max for a long time.
How old are you when you hit 635?
Like recently, the pain-free one?
Whenever did you hit that number twice?
Yeah. So like I went up real fast on deadlift and then got hurt and then have only ever like flirted with that kind of strength again,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a long time though. I don't even know. Long time. So yeah, new deadlift PR would be really cool. New bench press PR would be really cool. I still really want to bench press 500 pounds.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I think before I tore the bicep tendon, I was strong enough to do it. So
Dude, my body's just falling apart. I think that's actually what makes the weight room more exciting. Because like coming up as powerlifter, it's super difficult to not fall back into that.
Right.
Like it is not easy for me to go in and do a bench or a leg workout without taking heavy weight. And I've started to get, but like the knees just real ticked off, something going on with my shoulder. If I do flat bench, it's just really painful.
Mhm.
Like I can go close grip tricep, like tuck those elbows, and that's fine. I can do dumbbells,
Right.
push-ups, but just that flat, the bar on the flat bench just tears my shoulders up. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I got any PRs.
Yeah, I might be able to fix it too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's what I've noticed as I get older and older is like I still get stronger and faster. Like that's actually not hard to do still, at 40. But the thing that is hard to do is that my body won't put up with any bullshit. So like the dumber my workout is, the sooner it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And I also lose fitness faster. So I've noticed that's definitely a thing. If I take a couple weeks off for whatever reason, like my strength and everything just goes. When I tore the bicep tendon, it was like 3 or 4 weeks, and students were looking at me like standing at the whiteboard teaching, and they're like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'd be like, "What do you
Are you
mean?"
sick?
Yeah. They're like, "You've lost like 30 pounds. You look terrible."
Yeah. For me, it would just be actually, it's probably been since high school since I've been able to lift consistently. Being a coach having kids. There's been always something between that like 6 to 9 months that'll derail me for a little bit, and I'll hop back on it after the season.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit of longevity.
Right.
I won't say that I'm not going to hit new PRs. Weirdly, squatting with weight, it almost feels better, but I know it can't be good.
Yeah.
Like, I got to get that thing figured out before
Yeah.
throwing weight around.
Yeah. So right now, my leg days look a lot like Jefferson curls and hip thrust and hip rotation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At some point, those things will kind of like, they'll be as loaded as I can load them, and it'll be time to go back to the show. So
Yeah.
I know I just said I wasn't going to set a weight goal, but I think it's
Yeah, you
710 and 500.
Yeah. You in 23-minute episode in which the
Right.
first 20 minutes were absolute trash. You went from I'm going to sit. This is exactly what we're talking about with this
Yeah, that's
training.
what's wrong with me.
He convinced himself
Uh-huh.
to just his goal was just all-time records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I would fucking be excited to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope it is.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. Oh, I'm also trying to get to where I can jump a little bit. So
No, I'm not even interested. That was
Not
one
even
thing
interested,
we talked about, like
yeah,
dunk at 40.
yeah,
I just
dunk at 50.
don't. I don't even know. It's such a weird thing, and like some people might know what I'm talking about, but it's like my brain doesn't talk to the knee anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like if I go to even jump
I know
at
exactly
all,
what you're talking about.
it's like there's no connection. I can't even attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's something that through this like slow training, I'm sure it will start to come back, like, because I really tried. I was like a year.
Yeah,
I didn't do really anything
yeah,
because I was just hoping with time. Now, I still am a coach, so I'm always walking around and I've got to demonstrate squatting, and I was a football coach, so I'm jogging around. And
right,
so nothing is kind of a relative term.
right.
But it just didn't. It's only worse.
Yeah,
So it's like, screw it.
yeah,
I'll just do things. If it's going to hurt, then I might as well still be
Yeah.
athletic and in pain.
In my experience, taking off large chunks of time has never been fruitful.
Yeah.
When I first hurt my back, I was really poor, and so I couldn't go to the doctor right away. And I tried just taking, like, not lifting weights for a while and just doing track meets, but like I mentioned, I had some like partial paralysis in my right leg, so I went from being able to curl like 140 pounds on the hamstring curl with just one leg all the way down to like the lowest setting, like you take
Right,
the pin
yeah.
out, and it was like a 15-pound plate, and it was everything I could do. And I had like really bad drop foot, so like when we went to track meets, I would secretly tape up my foot so that I wouldn't catch it on curbs or on stairs or something, because I didn't want people to notice that I was
Spring
hurt.
back up,
Yeah. And I couldn't do a lot in track meets, right? And I was just taking a break from training. I was like, it'll get better, the inflammation will go down, it'll heal up, and then I'll get back in and do it. And it just got worse. And then I finally went to the doctor, and the particular doctor that I went to see got fired about a year later for not treating patients, and so it wasn't a great option. And she was just like, oh, it's just a strain, just take it easy till it feels better. And like 9 months later, it was worse. It'd gotten significantly worse, continued to deteriorate, and I'd gained like 40 pounds, so I was just miserable.
Yeah.
Like, I actually remember one day, I was like, I would have been like 19 or something, right? And I went to get in I was done working. I'd been digging trenches or something. And I went to get in the shower afterwards, and I was in the bathroom. I took my shirt off and looked in the mirror and was like, oh my God. And I just put my shirt back on and went to the gym. I was all covered in dirt still. and
Shower
just-
with your shirt on.
Yeah.
Shower with
the
your tears.
Yeah. That first workout was real funny. When I got to the gym, it was just pouring down rain. It was one of those days where like the clouds were like, you almost felt like you could reach the clouds, just black clouds hanging out right above the tree line. And I went in, and I remember I couldn't pick up like a 45-pound plate. So, I was just loading bars with like 10s and 25, doing bench press just with a stack of 10s out to the end, And when I got all done, I did basically no work. I did like 2 exercises, a couple sets each kind of thing.
Exhausted.
Yeah, oh yeah. And just like, I had no idea. I didn't know as much about how humans move and how the system works and how to deal with back injuries, right? That was all the long learning process that came from from doing that. But I do remember when I left at the end of the day, I went outside and it was still the dreariest like fall day that you've ever seen in your life. It was like in Technicolor. Like I felt so good, and the
Right.
grass was just like neon green, and even the clouds had like a rainbow
You
sheen
were
to them.
hallucinating. Yeah, you fucked your back up to the point where you
No, it was just like
pinched a nerve in
the
your brain.
first time I'd had any endorphins. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
my whole sport career just fell apart right in front of my face, and I was just devastated
Right.
and in more pain every day and not doing good. And then got a little workout in and went outside, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the
This is
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I've had that.
Yeah. That's why I think, I mean, I don't know if I should say this because we're in a situation where we're trying to give people like good intellectual advice for training and stuff, but like, I really believe that it's incredibly valuable to go into the weight room and do really hard stuff. Like I half jokingly always say that at least once a week your life should flash before your eyes when you're working out,
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want people to take that advice and then go and do like move poorly with too much weight and get themselves hurt and stuff. But like you should do stuff that's really, really challenging as a part of your workout.
Yeah, you need to learn,
Uh-huh.
and you need to learn your body.
Right.
Like sometimes when, when you came in and did the deadlift for donuts and
Uh-huh.
stuff, like I had to disclaim kids
Uh-huh.
because you deadlift with a little bit of a rounded back.
Yeah, like thoracic rounding.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that you can get into your good position, but
Yep.
then there's no movement.
Uh-huh.
Like that rounding stays there the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so you can get that's your body position. And then kids will be like,
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, I get it, but that's not you. You are just floppy.
Uh-huh.
Like you look like a banana.
Yeah.
Like I know you think you're doing the same thing, but you're not doing the same thing. Stop
Yeah.
it. Have a freaking straight back.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to put in the time.
Mm-hmm.
You've been lifting for 20 years.
Yeah, and there's definitely lifts that like I don't often like deadlift with that kind of training philosophy.
Yeah.
Right, because there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's important that the quality of movement is high. Otherwise, I think your risk for injury goes up a bunch. But like on squats, like I can squat all day without feeling like I'm in a bad spot.
Right.
And so it's a lot easier to, push myself to where I don't want to do another one, but I could do another one,
I don't care what the weight is. On
Mhm.
the 6th rep of a squat,
Yeah.
I feel like my life is flashing. Like,
Yeah.
warm up,
Right.
135 doesn't even matter. Like it's like, oh my, why am I moving so many times here?
Who enjoys this?
It's fucking squatting for volume. What the hell?
uh,
But then I started squatting for volume. Holy crap.
yeah,
It was great.
it's great.
I mean, it sucked.
Volume is
It
king.
was not great,
Uh-huh.
but it was life-changing.
Yeah. I've definitely taken that too far on more than one occasion.
Every occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You can do too much.
Too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when you're training that you don't actually get stronger in the weight room.
Yeah.
You beat up your body a little bit and it's like, oh, I need to make some changes. And then as you eat and sleep and rest and do nothing, then it can go through all that work of, giving you a little more muscle and everything. So, just doing more in the weight room isn't always the smart
Right.
thing to do.
Yeah. That's one thing. I am not sleeping right.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, I know too.
I'm waiting. Like eventually I'm sure we'll have somebody that knows something about sleep on here.
Yeah.
I'm not changing it until we get to there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Good
And then you'll
content,
implement.
baby. I'll do like a sleep study.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got the app. You know what I mean?
My brother did a sleep study and they billed his insurance and then sent him a bill and it was like $700. And he was like, oh, your insurance paid $2,000. Here's and your remaining bill's $700. And he was like, okay, all right, that seems like a lot with insurance. And then he had to do a follow-up sleep study with no insurance. You know what his bill was?
Like
$700. It was he had to pay the same amount of money with or without insurance.
the insurance just made some money.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. We won't get started on all that. That's a different podcast. I
Yeah,
guess.
probably.
But yeah, I've been there.
Uh-huh.
Would you like an MRI?
I have a goal. Right now,
Okay.
came up with it.
Is it insurance related?
I mean, kind of, because it's about my own health and stuff,
Alright,
you know. I want to see if I can get, I mean, this is a tangent to actually what my goal is, but I want to see if I can do some gene study. Like, I'd like to know what kind of,
Like denim cord.
no, like my genetic makeup as a human being.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
yeah. But my other goal is I always have sucked at cardio. We've talked about it on the
Yep.
show.
Oh,
I'm tremendously terrible at it. And I was working for a little while with like a chest band for the heart monitor and stuff, and found out that to stay in my ratio for, where I've got good cardiovascular improvement or whatever is about like a 3 mile an hour jog. It's pretty slow. So I want to push that up a little bit. I'd like to get like that, 60 to 80% at like a 6 mile an hour jog for half an hour, 20 minutes or something.
3 mile an hour jog is a walk.
Hey,
Like,
hey! I don't need you.
Slower
I don't
than a
need you
good
shaming me.
Slower than a good walk.
I don't need you shaming me.
I'm just saying shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even a shame. That's just a fact.
I do actually alternate between walking and jogging at that speed.
Yeah.
Like I jog until the heart rate gets too high, and then I walk a little
I've
bit.
never been able to go on a jog and start walking.
Really?
Just
Once you get in the groove, you don't want to.
don't want to stop.
I always feel like that, but the
Like,
groove.
okay, but like if it was like whatever you call it, like the fartlek, where
Uh-huh.
you like sprint
Yeah.
and part of it is the walk.
Right.
I've done
Sprint
those.
the straights, walk the
Yeah,
corners.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never like gone out like I'm gonna jog this amount of
Uh huh.
time and started walking.
Yeah.
But I was
But you don't suck at it.
was fairly compared to a normal human. I was talented at running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compared to runners, I was not.
I've always felt like I have a really nice, like a nice open stride, but it's probably like 14 or 15 miles an hour, and I can't run a mile at that pace. Yeah, I can't run a half an hour.
I don't know that I've ever seen you jog,
Yeah.
which really excites me to watch you start jogging.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be dull as shit. Running 3 miles an hour.
Probably just be me on the treadmill most of the time.
Not real exciting to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. I got 4 goals.
Yeah, maybe we should have went reverse goals.
Reverse goals.
Like you set a goal for me.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You're like, you're going to bench 405 pounds. And then I'm like, you're going to fucking finish the Seattle Marathon. Walking or running.
I don't know why you want to kill your new business partner.
You walk it.
I don't know if I could.
It'll only take you, what is that, 7 hours?
Yeah, I have a very good friend.
8 hours? I don't even think you're allowed to take that long.
I have a very good friend who does he did like some nature picture photography, loves to hike, be outside. And one day we went to do the Hoh River hike. And so it's a beautiful trail that follows the river in a rainforest, and it goes all the way up to like Mount Olympus in the Olympic National Forest. And I think that the trail actually terminates at Glacier Meadow. Super pretty. Everything about it's gorgeous, right? But round trip, I think, is 26 miles to Glacier Meadow. I could be off by a little bit on the mileage, but it was a ways, right?
No one's checking.
No one's checking. Fact check. Put it in the comments how wrong I am. I appreciate that.
I'm going to the comments and checking that now. Like,
That's just going to be you. You're just going to
no, it's actually 24.3 miles.
just
I
fill
bet
it
you-
full of nicknames.
I
Josh
bet you-
1, Josh 2.
It's probably exactly 26 miles. Earlier, we were downloading a file, and you were like, it's going to take like 15 minutes. And it started up, and it was fucking it was going to take 15 minutes. I was like, this is so stupid, dude. There's no way you actually knew how long that file was going to take to download.
I did. So anyway, we got to hiking, and we made it about 8 miles in, and we were thinking, like, we got out early, and we were like, maybe we'll just do the whole thing in one day. We'll hike all the way up, we'll hike all the way back. And my wife is like a gazelle. She's like a super talented, like, endurance athlete kind of person. And my buddy is also pretty capable, out and about. We made it about 8 miles in, and I was like, you guys, I think that if we don't turn around, I'm going to die in the woods. Like, I'm just not going to survive, And like this whole chain on my right side, like rotator cuff, hip, bursa, knee, was all just like on fire, stabbing pains. I was like whining by the time we got back to the car. They kept telling me I needed to stop because I was going to attract cougars.
Sound like a wounded animal or something.
I'm just going through the ooh.
You have flashbacks from when you were fat getting in the shower that one day.
Yeah. You got it.
I need to change.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I could walk a marathon. I think I might run out of gas before I.
And we'll start with a 5K.
Yeah. I think that's achievable. I think I could do a 5K.
All right.
That's 3 miles.
Yeah.
Some combination of
3
walking and
point
running.
something.
I could do that.
I would hope so.
So you're setting me a goal for a 5K?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
All right. That's a pretty easy one. I feel like oh God, there's a spider on my head. Or
No, it's a
something, dude.
beetle. It's a cool beetle. He's red on the backside.
Fucking scorpion. I think it was a scorpion.
With wings?
There's no way to tell that was a beetle. That might have been a scorpion.
No, it's right there. You can see it.
No, that's something different. I threw mine over there.
But he has wings, so he
You never seen a
course-corrected.
wing? I think you said you wanted to be a winged scorpion.
That's what I said.
It was a manticore. on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
head. That was gross, dude. That fucking creeped me out.
Yeah. He's a cute little beetle.
I ain't making eye contact with him.
No? Okay.
I'll fight him.
I like that we live somewhere that I don't believe that we have. Maybe we have like one spider that's poisonous or
I don't
venomous.
give a shit if it's poisonous or not. That's a stupid ass. Like, oh, it's not even venomous. I don't care. It's a spider. They're gross as shit. Sorry for any spiders that are watching the podcast. You're fucking gross.
Peter Parker sitting at home being like, oh, I thought I found some guys I could hang out with. Just going to get roasted for
God.
being a Spider-Man.
Threw me off. Not that I was on, but
Mm-hmm. He's on December 30th now on the calendar.
yeah. So you hit a cardio goal,
Yeah.
and I'll hit a bench press
No.
record.
Nope.
What do you want me? What do you vice versa in? Vice versa vice.
That we figure out your hips and ankles and feet and knees.
Oh, that's a long goal.
No, how long do you think it's going to take me to do a 5K?
Tomorrow.
Oh, God.
It's 3 miles, Kyle.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to say that we have a business meeting. I'm just going to drop your ass off 3 miles from home, which is, I feel like you could see down that road right there. You can just see
It's
3
a
miles
long,
away.
straight stretch.
Jesus Christ. Walk 3 miles, you're like, you're gonna reverse years of
They have
pain.
one in town, right? They got a 5K every year in town? Goldsboro?
In the summer, they have a 5K every Tuesday at Smoke and Moe's. People literally drink beer and then run a 5K because that's how insignificant that amount of space is.
Oh.
So maybe
Yeah,
you could
they've
do
just
that.
found my lane.
Yeah.
All right, summertime. Cofield's going to jog.
Do you drink beer?
No.
You're just gonna show up at the bar just to run it?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure that'd be fun.
Solidarity.
Yeah, it's run by the. I don't know. Are you allowed to say people's names on this?
I don't know.
You guys yelled at me because I said somebody else's name on the last podcast.
Well,
Not Genghis Khan. You guys yelled at me for that one too. But
that was pretty funny.
the Chamberlains ran it last year.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Cool.
My wife did it a few times.
Yeah.
It's good people.
All right.
All right, business goals.
Business goals. Oh, yeah.
What
What
is
are we doing
business-
as a business?
Business outline.
Uh-huh.
Because I think we talked about it in the first episode about kind of that we wanted to kind of gather information.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it would be a good time to like just throw out some like super generic, big picture things that we just would love to accomplish,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
You don't know where it's going to go.
Uh-huh.
You know, all 4 of our followers might push us in one direction or the other.
Yeah.
So just some ideas. Because
Yeah.
I got ideas, you got ideas, and
Yeah.
then we slowly just merge those ideas into one
Uh-huh.
super unattainable,
Yeah.
massive
Yep.
idea.
So what is the super unattainable massive idea?
Yeah, just having like a top end
Mm-hmm.
supplement brand that's like doing awesome.
Yeah.
A gigantic warehouse gym.
Yep.
You know, like your big thing was like we had talked about, you know, one of the reasons we started this whole thing was and a previous venture that I tried to do was trying to get money back to athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's funny how most like strength sports or combat sports, like unless you're at the very top, you
Right.
you don't make any money.
Yeah.
Not even that you're not making a living. It's like
Yeah.
you don't even make your damn entry fee back. You
Mhm.
get congratulations, you get a sword.
Right.
I don't need my 9th sword.
Yeah.
I would love $200.
Yeah.
You know, so just hosting like random events. You know, in this gigantic warehouse space, we've thought about having, an area like the Troll Cave where the power lifters and the strongman
Right.
apparatuses, maybe some machines for like bodybuilding, stuff like that for influencers, like have a space for those guys, have some mats and some coaches. So they're doing some strength sports, maybe some like space for youth wrestling.
Right.
And then not only like host events and use some of that money that we're making or some of the money we're making off the supplements to help pay for those things, but also giving back. Our big thing was that youth wrestling.
Yeah.
Like trying to, since that is the thing that kind of launched the venture in the first place was
Right.
the health of wrestlers. Really like stepping forward and being a responsible business and not just hoarding our earnings,
Yeah.
but pushing that back out,
Yeah.
and into the community.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that the way that we do business has some massive issues. Right now, if you run a corporation in the United States,
We as in Americans.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
no.
mean, pretty much everywhere because it's
Well,
a
just
economic empire. you
not us. We.
know? Yeah. Not us
What is that,
particular.
the royal we.
No, yeah. No, I mean us in particular. We're just going to try to get as much cash out of other people's pockets as possible. And I want to buy a boat, No. As a business, you're liable to your shareholders.
A boat would be pretty dope.
Boat would be pretty dope. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll get there. As a business, you're liable to your shareholders. And I think that it should be that businesses are liable to their stakeholders. So when you're making choices as a business, I think you should be thinking about what's good for your customers, what's good for your employees, what's good for your community, what's good for your environment, what's good for your, partners in business, right? And what's good for your shareholders. I don't think there's actually as much competition in those as a lot of people make it out to be. And I think you can usually make pretty responsible choices about what you're doing and run a solid business, I've had a pretty eclectic experience in terms of where I've worked and stuff because I get bored and I got to get a new job at some point. And there's always either been issues of what are we focusing on? Who are we here to help? All those kinds of things that don't ever feel like they're fully fleshed out. You kind of get in a zone and you just do your thing. And so I really wanted to do something where we were doing those things. We've talked about the give back. So our commitment is that 5% of all of our revenue goes back just straight into the sport. So
Right.
either youth things or sponsoring tournaments or sponsoring athletes or whatever, right? And I would love it if whatever the avenues are that we end up pursuing in this, that we can continue to not only do that, but maybe even increase it, how much can you do? That's something I'm really interested in. Yeah.
Yeah. If the business is growing and, we both grew up ultra poor.
Uh-huh.
So, is it a race to see how much money we could make? You know what I mean? I don't think that's either of our goals.
No.
So it would be cool. I actually think it would be more rewarding to build a thing that I'm proud of.
Uh-huh.
Like this, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A physical thing.
Yeah, I
than
mean,
necessarily a bunch of money.
We've talked a lot about in our kind of area, there's lots of issues economically, right? We seem to have an ever-growing homeless issue, and if you went and got a minimum wage job, you couldn't afford rent anywhere.
Right.
So it's how are you supposed to participate? I would love to be able to hire people and pay them enough to actually live a life, right? And so a lot of those things I'm real excited to try out.
Yep.
Yeah, to push for.
Yeah, I've tried in the past. I did that first responders league that I was
Mhm.
trying to take off with, just it was like a strongman competition, but only first responders.
Right.
It didn't quite take off.
Yeah, one of the things I think we realized about that is if that was something that was going to go, it would require a pretty significant financial investment to start with.
Yeah.
Right? The amount of equipment and time and everything that you got to put in is pretty intense on the front end.
I got some really oddly specific strongman equipment just sitting at home.
You get some fingal fingers.
Well, I got fucking harnesses that could pull a fire truck. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I got to move the truck today. Just
I mean, that'll be content. It's just me
strap
pulling
it
stuff
on.
around, I guess.
I got a large one and a small one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what excites me.
Yeah.
That, and I was talking about it earlier. I have this weird dream of And if you've never been in like a gym that isn't in a building that was supposed to be a gym, so like more like a warehouse
Right.
or like the big like garage spaces,
Mm-hmm.
like I have this dream of having an office in a gym that's either just like obviously just 4 walls.
Right. It was
and
constructed
drywall,
after the fact.
just a little
It was
box.
tacked on.
Yeah, probably not even a ceiling.
Uh-huh.
I can just hear the noise. Or up the wooden stairs, just sitting over watching. I mean, that's not a very big dream.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of money to piece that out.
Yeah.
And then just sit there and watch and enjoy everybody else enjoying what we created. Like that's what drove me as a strength coach already, you know, like really building that team camaraderie, see people represent our brand.
Yep.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Sponsor some athletes.
I'll do my very best to make sure that happens. And I look forward to like everybody else who works for us has a nice office, and like we've got a nice recording space, and then you've just got an office that was clearly smashed together by people who had no idea what was going on.
Like
It's half the size anybody else's.
It's the warehouse gym, and then next to that is like the office space
Yeah.
that everybody has. It's like nice, and there's a receptionist,
Yeah.
and my ass. You're like, there you go.
It's
I'm
like
just
a
in
5x7, and when you open the door, it hits the desk. You can't
Just-
get it open all the way.
always super hot because it's up top. The music is too loud in the gym. Like I never can get any work done. I'm just always angrily looking out the window.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to do it.
Thanks, Hardy. Hate my damn office. Not even a thing yet. I hate my office.
It was romantic, though.
Can I get
like
a
owning
slide,
a boat.
though? I would want a slide.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it has to be a
Oh.
spiral?
I don't know. I think I might like this guy.
The long shoot? Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
Some
Yeah.
dips. Some dips
Or
and
just
some
a
whips.
fire pole.
A fire pole would be cool. I was just thinking about
Insurance.
keeping with the spirit of it. I was just going to find a piece of like cast iron pipe out somewhere, nail it up. Not like a large,
not
easy
even
to hold on
unfinished,
to
like
brass
rough.
fire pole. Yeah, yeah.
It's, like, it's just sewer piping.
Yeah.
It's like this.
The old style ceramic sewer piping where they stack into each other. So when you slide down, there's ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rusty. So it just ruins my clothes.
Yeah.
It's nice. I'm glad that I'm thought of.
Yeah. I think we can make that
I
happen
hope
for you.
Die on your fucking 5K.
Yeah, it's funny to me to start a company and be like, we want to do good things, we want to give back, and our first thing that we're going to sell is supplements, because like anybody who's been in this for a long time knows that the supplement industry can be pretty interesting. Like we had where we wrote to a couple manufacturers, and they were like, we can get you some cheap shit and plug it full of artificial sweeteners, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And that is the thing. It's like we're very close
Uh-huh.
right now. Like we've worked on
Yep.
getting and tasting
Formula,
and
flavors, all the
like,
stuff.
for quite a long time. We started
Yeah.
this adventure over a year ago. Now that was a little bit of hiatus last football season.
Yeah.
But we've been going for a while. Like
Yeah.
we're getting close. Not quite there.
Yeah.
We just don't want to put out crap,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we found a good manufacturing facility.
Yep.
You know, so that all by itself seemed to be kind of a challenge. And then we've done all that other legwork. So, you know, we'll start making stuff, and what we make, I'm hoping, will be really, really good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Get a pre-sale going
Yeah, at some
some
point.
point.
Yeah, we'll announce it.
If you're interested in that kind of thing, let us know. Or else we'll just buy it ourselves and
Yeah.
get all jacked.
Yeah.
Hey, you got anything else?
That has been a fun part of the process is I was really into nutrition and supplementation when I was like in my early 20s or mid 20s. And there was a big brand protein company that released their new product. And it was like, you know, it was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. And I read the label on it and I was like, I don't remember if it was cottage cheese or beef, but it was like, these are literally the exact same, you know, like protein and fat ratios and everything of
It was
just eating beef.
Deconstructed beef protein.
yeah, at like $60 a you know, a serving or whatever. And I kind of fell out of love with it. I had read a bunch of things about, you know, the lack of controls and stuff, because the supplement industry used to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like you could just make whatever in your basement and package it and call it whatever you wanted to. You know, now to produce, you know, there's facilities that get licensed, and then you can go the step further as a retailer. Like we're looking at third-party testing and stuff, right, to make sure that what we sell or what we buy from a manufacturer is actually what we ordered.
Right.
Right. No extra spice and no nothing missing. And so like there's definitely been some changes in it, and I've had a lot of fun in the last year experimenting with some of the different supplements that you can use.
Yeah.
You know, because in the past it was only ever protein and creatine, which are both great. But trying out some new ones has been really fun for me.
That was the interesting thing because it's same for me.
Yeah.
For the last probably 5 or 6 years, I hadn't really paid that much attention past creatine. That's about the end of where my advice would have finished for pre-workout and protein,
Right.
and it's about as deep as I would get with the students, anyways.
Right.
So it was interesting coming back and seeing some new research on things that
Mm-hmm.
and it's always, we talk about it, it's things get popular, right? The egg was good, the egg is bad. The deadlift is good, the deadlift is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Creatine is terrible, creatine's the greatest thing ever, right? So anything that's new, you got to kind of ride the wave.
Right.
It's probably not as bad as you think it is, probably not as good as you think it is
Yeah.
for most things.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out what is actually useful for people to take.
Yeah, and what are the conditions? Because there's a lot of marketing in the supplement industry where they're like, you want this and you need it all the time for the rest of your life, and it's like,
year round.
yeah, and it's like, well, actually, if you're bulking pretty hard and you don't have to worry about your calories, you probably don't need, much, anything, right? And
Yeah.
like that could definitely be. There's some pretty dirty bulks that you can do where that's not true, but like if you're eating okay and
Or take all these things and you're
going
going to be healthy, and it's like it doesn't even cover
right.
a third of the nutrients.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that people are actually healthy.
Uh-huh.
Everything's in there.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to do the whole thing. It's been a really fun, like getting started, and everything's been a really great experience.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm having a blast. It's a lot of extra work,
Yeah.
but that's how you know it's good work.
Yeah.
It's because I can't wait
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah. I worked a whole 9-hour day at my regular job, and then came in. We're 4.5 hours into today.
Have
for
not
the
stopped
second job.
laughing.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Which is really funny. Like what you guys don't know on the other side is there's like a tiny bit of laughing during.
Uh-huh.
God, there's a lot of laughing
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah. I sometimes I think we should record it and then see if any of it makes any sense to anybody who's not in the room.
Just two idiots laughing at stupid jokes.
Yeah.
Have a second camera behind the camera,
Uh-huh.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We could already start doing our Netflix special.
Yeah, sometimes I
Behind.
worry that it would be like just like a series of inside jokes that nobody would have access to. I had a pair of friends when I was growing up who were really close, and they would talk almost exclusively in movie quotes. And so if you hadn't seen the movies that they were referencing, like they would just say something, they'd be like, pink sunshades, and then they'd just be cackling, and you'd be sitting there on the outside and being like, why is that even
You would
relevant to
laugh
what we're
too?
doing? I mean, yeah,
And
probably.
you'd
It's probably
sit
really
there.
sad.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
close the closest quarry is.
Time for
Inside
another
joke.
jump.
If you've not watched episode 3, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. Not episode 3.2.
Like today is.
Not,
That's about we can't go back.
Yeah.
I even saw it in your eyes. You were like, let's restart this. We were already
Uh-huh.
15 minutes in the episode. You're
Yeah.
like, dude, we got to restart the episode. Quoting, right? But I guarantee you that's not the last time that'll happen
yeah.
because you're forgetful. Somehow you forget nothing. But
I'll remember in 12 years. I'll be like, hey, you remember that time?
yeah, the quote was, it's not even our quote. It's Gable's quote.
Yeah.
Once you've wrestled, everything else is easier.
Yeah.
It's not even his. It's not even Gable's quote. It's Gable's quote.
Oh, yeah. Other Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun little tie in there.
It is impressive, like psychologically, to wrestle. They got, for our school, they got a big spotlight that they drop down. They turn off all the other lights. Looks super dramatic, like you're filming a
Something going in on my ear here. I think it's that beetle.
Beatles getting you. Super dramatic. But I was just thinking about the psychology of the athlete to go out there all by yourself, with no other supports, and just get the crap kicked
You
out of you.
cannot blame the failure on anybody else.
Uh-huh. Yeah, in front of your family and
Almost
friends
every
and
other
everything.
sport,
Yeah,
there's somebody else you could pass the buck off to.
yeah, super impressive.
That is, it's just you.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I made it 7th grade.
Uh-huh.
They passed out the singlets. I already wasn't working. 7th grade Monroe in a singlet was not a sight to behold. And they pointed out, that was like day 1 or whatever. And they pointed out, maybe this is day 2 or 3. They're like, all right, tomorrow we're going to start with matches. You and you. You and you. And it's co-ed.
Yeah.
And they pointed me with a girl that I had a crush on who probably would have beat me.
Uh-huh.
I think she had wrestled for a few years.
Yeah.
And we were like,
7th grade, so you haven't really hit the the puberty
she
thing
was
where
matured.
you're a monster.
Yeah. And like I'm sitting there squeaking around.
Uh-huh.
I never came back.
Yeah.
It's like I know for a fact, which I had no shot anyways, but I know I have no shot if she beats me.
Uh-huh.
And I was probably right. But then
I want to do it.
Yeah.
I got to find some
Wrestle.
adult folk style or something to do,
Yeah, no, like,
Greco.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't mind rolling around. The only problem is if you flick my knee right now,
It might explode.
yeah, like I need to work on some mobility before getting any sort of. I enjoyed it. We did a little bit in the military.
Yeah.
Not wrestled, but some weak ass MMA.
Yeah.
You have one guy that's like watched UFC 1 through 6, and he's teaching you all these things.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable. It's less enjoyable when you get your ass kicked, for sure.
Yeah.
And it would happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can't go into a sport like that. Was something I discovered being a thrower in track and field is you get people who would come in and think like, oh, my athleticism's going to carry me over everybody else.
Right.
And it's like, you're not the only athletic dude, like
right.
you climb the ladder a little bit, everybody's freaky.
Especially in like jiu-jitsu, even like if you come in super athletic. I had a buddy that we went and watched. He was a pretty big brawler, lots of fights, kind of like a street fighter kind of kid.
Right.
And he had a cage fight. He had no training on the ground. He was just going to go in and beat the hell out of this kid.
Yeah.
The first thing that guy did was just do a takedown, got him to the ground. It never stood back up. It was 4.5 minutes on the ground. And he got choked out.
Him just
You know
eating
what I
it.
mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter if you're super explosive. If that guy knows how to counter your one explosive move. Are you explosive with somebody on your back?
Yeah.
So, and it's been a long time since I got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a human thing.
Yeah.
So
that's goal number 6 then. Get Cofield in a jiu-jitsu or wrestling.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of drive from where we're at. We're at like a jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, the big
desert.
thing right now is time. We'll have to figure out how to consolidate some hours.
Yeah, and one less job.
Anybody want to start another business?
No, dude.
Leave it in the
You
comments.
tried to start a business with Gable yesterday.
He didn't even know what he wanted to do.
You just said,
He didn't have any ideas.
you want a job?
You want a job?
Me, you job now.
Leave your best business ideas in the comments. If we use them, it's
Cofield
not
will
your
start
idea.
One.
Yeah.
Best business idea.
Best
Cofield
business idea.
starts.
If I steal it, I'll try to send you a shirt. I'm not making any promises, but I'll try.
But I'm excited. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting things over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Lots of work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got some really great guests on the schedule. I'm excited to have some conversations with some of them. And
I'm excited to have conversations with all of them.
well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since they're our guests.
You're a lot better at the diplomacy than me. You're a better human, I'm still a little bit of a grizzly bear pretending to be a man.
I'll take it. I think that's a frightening thing if that's a true statement. But yeah, this is going to explode if that's true.
Yeah.
And the best human around was Monroe. We really need a third person in here somewhere.
We do. Yeah, we got to start hiring people.
Do you have all the money?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want? You work for? We got cheese sticks. We both have a lot of cheese sticks right now.
Yep.
You work for 2 cheese sticks a night.
We need interns. Comment
wanna-
below if you want to be an
intern.
intern.
Red Gauge Nutrition. Either in the protein packing or.
Yeah. I just went on the whole thing about how I think people should be fairly compensated.
And then immediately we're like, can we get free labor?
Can we get free labor?
Eventually,
Yeah.
we will give back.
the 10 people below you have to feed it up, and then the 10 people below them,
Yeah.
and then pretty soon,
Yeah.
there's a million
what I
people
mean?
feeding you here at the
As
top of the
they get
at the
people
bottom of
below
a
them.
funnel. You
Right.
know, is
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's a
Reverse funnel, yeah.
It's a it's an upside down funnel. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes. Do I want so much money I also could rent the Giza pyramids and have a podcast from the top like Mr.
Uh-huh.
Beast? Sure. But everybody
Yeah.
else makes some money.
Yeah, I'd rather
You know?
do something.
I ain't throwing no money around though. We're earning money around here. Ain't nobody just getting no free money.
Okay.
Monroe ain't got no free money.
Okay.
I'm sure I've gotten free money at some point in time.
Yeah, you've made all kinds of promises. So.
You know what promises of giving the money back?
Yeah, see, now that you're on film, you don't know. No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, of giving you money or
yeah,
something?
yeah. That was the joke.
Oh, I didn't get it.
It didn't
actually.
land.
It
The joke
fucking
didn't land.
Sucked.
It wasn't a good joke.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right. Are we all done?
You know what I'm thinking about right now?
What's that?
At what point in time did the outro start?
Oh, like have we already passed it?
Has the outro already went?